pilot or otherwise, you're still trying to apply what's considered newer standards, voice updated standards to get them to, follow closer to current access management standards. In this case, the Maple Main intersection is only 130 feet down from your southern motor driveway.
Shifted that to the north.
Well, in the case, I think two driveways are closer together, but also the access management standards. We talked about there's existing driveways on the other side of the street that, when we put in the left turn lane, or even before that, we trying to use the same piece of left turn lane. That could still happen a little bit further to the north, but usually this is away from Maple. So, you guys are right. We might go for 20 years and have our crash here, but the advice I have to give the city is based upon a lot of other background information, and I got to be thinking about long term. What if Maine goes from 6,000 cars a day on it now to 12,000 10 years from now? And I go back to original. It's okay, I'm sitting there. I can stand it as long as you do.
But again, you mentioned MDOT, and that's a recommendation or standard. This is not an MDOT road.
Oh, no, I know, but MDOT, a lot of communities have adopted MDOT standard because they and SEMCOG and a lot of the NPOs around the state had firms do research, and that's how they adopted these original standards back in 1995 and then upgraded. So yeah, that's just because this is an MDOT road, those kind of standards are being used by communities all around the state of Michigan. I know. Let me go back to you. And I think we're all trying to be, at least I'm trying to be more cognizant of this is library kind of public use and full benefit of doubt kind of stuff. I don't want to go to the library and work with food skill in this day and age. But if this was a commercial use company, or even a low volume commercial use on this corner, and it was early in the approval process, maybe I would be recommending the city that there's no access point development, period, because sites like this on corners in this day and age are much safer. If they've got good access and frontage along the side street, that's where they're required to have access. You might get, in this case, a right turn in only southbound. You wouldn't get two movements, you wouldn't get a split driveway, and you wouldn't get 4 points of access egress on 2 public roadways. That's the old gas station kind of thing. So I think, in a way, the city from an access management standpoint, convenient in allowing a 2-way driveway out of the street. But the other thing I got to understand is you guys have done a lot of planning internal to your building, and I imagine that's really what the pushback is here. It's not a lot of it. It's not whether this is confusing or not. I don't really think it would be. I think anybody uses this more than once will understand.
Everybody I showed it to was confused. I showed it to a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think there would be after one visit, but in the case. So I understand the pushback, especially from the internal side of the building. And that's
at the end
part of the city.
At the end of the day, the same car that goes in is going to come out, whether it's a 1-way or a 2-way.
From the north.
When they access there, they're further up and out of
Okay, so what's your thoughts on that one, on point number 3?
I think we should go with the safety issue. Because the city's going to be liable.
So you're talking about Pete's recommendation?
Yes, Pete's
Okay.
recommendation. We should go. Number 3 on that.
Yes, number 3 you're talking, correct?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, on Harlan.
driveway.
Recommendation.
Book drop.
Number 3.
That's not what we're looking at.
I just print off the materials all the time.
Other, Sparks?
With the number of cars that are gonna be turning in there, and the amount of traffic we got out there, you do the probability and statistics, and it's inconsequential. You could have 20,000 cars going up and down there with just 10 or 12 a day. It's not gonna be very different when you put the numbers over the top. So I don't think I think we're taking a mountain out of a molehill. I kind of agree with Dwayne. I don't think there's that much difference between A or B or C when you do all the numbers. So you say it's an attorney thing, you say it's a safety thing, you say it's, and all you're doing is you're trying to make a decision based on fear or scaring somebody into it, or I don't know. But I don't think when you look at the numbers, very, very good. No different. If you want to do it from a strictly probability and statistics point of view.
I think part of the problem is that this whole thing was drawn up before it was ever brought to the planner. And so we're supposed to fix it after they have, not followed the procedure to get the building where it should be in the first place. I think as a board, we're responsible for following the safest issues that we can. I mean, we can't put the city in jeopardy over something like this. And I don't think it's going to be that big a deal when you drive in. It's going to look different than it is on paper.
My thinking is, I see the way people park at that end of town, in that area. This is just gonna be way too confusing for someone people that come through there.
There's a bunch of dumb people in town. I don't believe it.
Hey, I got 2 parking spots in front of my tea shop, and there's 4 people parking there most of the time.
I don't believe we have that many people who can't catch on.
So what's your pleasure on that point, number 3?
Just do it roll over.
Yeah, well, why don't
one, then the other.
we could make a,
I'll make a motion to approve the final PUD site plan for the Cedar Spring Public Library as submitted, and as Carmen has laid out in his 8 steps, minus the 3rd one. My motion is to recommend it as submitted by, Bob.
Okay. Right, well, okay, so, we still, before, I think we maybe got a little too far, we still have to look at these other points that were on here that
Okay.
are consideration, but,
Motion are made.
yeah,
Second.
so,
Yes, Chairman, I didn't hear anything from the applicants indicating that they objected. Any of the others for that? Any others in it? No, I agree. I say we're trying to work. I'm picking my battles.
Okay. You agree to everything but 3?
Correct.
But you've got different
Where?
numbers than they've got, so
Right, yeah, my
you might
numbers
have
are-
a different
I
document.
didn't get an updated, but I know we're talking the same thing.
Okay.
The Main Street Drive.
So everybody's on the same sheet, that's why I'm.
Just let me print off the website today for the agenda.
Yep.
4 is access and circulation of keys. Yeah, it's just.
It's per district, Aventini read off those 8 bulletins.
This is at the recommendation at the bottom. I don't think you've got the same
We didn't get a
picture.
copy of that. It was on, it's a list page, that's, as long as you all have it.
Right.
And you know that it's the interest.
Second.
We're good.
right, so the motion and support is for, to approve 7 of 8 of Carmen's recommendations on their number 3 being one that is, the one that's deleted, so any other
And
comments?
I believe the site plan as submitted.
Well, that's, yeah, we're
Was it
doing,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
just
For that.
keeping everybody so we know where we're at.
Any other discussion on that?
Point of order, I request a roll call vote if you do, when you do vote.
Other discussion?
Is that submitted?
That's
By
submitted.
them?
Right.
Mr. Bray?
No.
Mrs. Brennan?
No.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Mrs. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mr. Laws?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
No.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. All right, under old business, we have an update on our master plan. 17.
Yeah, just a quick update. We're continuing to work on the revisions. I'd hoped to have it completed by now, but we ran into a few things that we just needed to make sure we clarified, and unexpected things we found in there that we wanted to clarify and make sure that we dealt with them properly. And so we should have the copy of it shortly. I'll get it into your hands. We're going to be putting it on the agenda for the first meeting in April. I know we have a special meeting scheduled for the 22nd to deal with the special land uses, and I figured it was going to be a late meeting tonight anyway, so.
Not too bad.
No, thought it'd be later, and, but just thought that for the master plan, we really should have a full session to deal with the master plan, to review it, rather than just give it a half an hour or something like that. So you'll have it for the April meeting. We'll get it out in advance and take it from there.
Right, on land use, I know we had discussed it, and I don't know if it got put in for instance, our parks and stuff, there was a public use, there was a zoning designate.
Community use.
Or community use,
Yeah.
correct, thank you for
Right.
correcting me. We were gonna incorporate that in and possibly work on that for the future to put that designate in. I don't know if that got put in or not, and I'm not sure where everybody else was of wanting it in.
I don't know if we discussed that.
Well, typically what we'll do, if it's something that's owned by the city in particular,
Exactly.
we can show it in the future land use map as public. If it's owned by a church or the school or something like that, then we have to show whatever the zoning district is, because what if you close a building, you don't need it anymore, you want to make sure that you have the proper zoning designation there. If it's a city and you're going to do something different with it, the city has control over it. But if it's another party, you don't. So we are looking at that, though. That's a good point.
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
have a
identify
couple
that.
of our parks, for instance, the Veterans Park, that is recreational,
Yeah,
and it doesn't show it, it shows it as commercial
right.
in that area, so.
Yeah.
If we were gonna change our zoning maps to fit our public use property, so that's more concern than anything.
Yeah, which is the next step after we look at the future, we update the master plan, we have future land use map. The next step in that whole process would be to take a look at the zoning map and zoning regulations to see what things you want to change immediately and what things you want to keep like that for now that would be changed at some point in time. That's the logical next step.
Okay, thank you, that answers.
Okay.
There's a lot of questions.
Any other questions? I know it's hard to see it.
You wanna see it? That's all.
Okay, Linda, any correspondence to share with us? Okay. All right, so switching hats then to listen from city manager one.
The only thing that I have would be, the ad went out yesterday for the city manager position. They're taking applications through March 25th, and hopefully mid-April they will decide who they're going to be.
Okay. last month, Linda brought to our attention, I thought that, because I just kind of out of sight, out of mind, but you know, how our bylaws, how we had approved changes in the city council, and we're trying to, so, Mr. Hall and I talked about this, and so, I'll give a copy of this wording to Linda, and then, well, I'll just tell you right now what we were kind of thinking, and then we'll have it next month. We can look at approving this, that way we can choose some time to look at it. So, section 2 in our bylaws is meetings, and you know, we have A, B, C, D, those kind of things. So we propose just kind of moving all those letters down one, and we'll put in a new letter A that would say, Robert's Rules of Order will serve as the parliamentary authority for all planning commission meetings. And then that way we've got, that's what we can go back to as far as forming agendas and putting things in there, that sort of thing. So we know where our authority to come up with our meetings comes from. Okay, so I'll give that wording to Linda, and then we can actually approve that at our meeting next month. Okay, so, yep.
Can we get copies of the Robert's Rules of Order? Where do we? We can order them.
Online.
We can Google it, I think.
We'll go to the library, they may have it there.
Well, I mean, what, they come out with new ones all the time, versions or editions. Which one?
They're pretty.
It really isn't change traffic over they want something about it.
It's like the Bible, they make new editions of that all the time.
I'll show you the pages or the sections. All right, so any other comments from planning? Yes.
Do we still have a meeting March 22nd, or is that
Yes.
enough? Is that the outside?
Yes. That's our special meeting, yeah. Okay. Ms. Conley, any comments?
Once again, thanking the members of the community that came out tonight on this very cold and snowy night. And the one looking for attention back there as well. And for helping us move forward as a community. I'm excited to see where we're going.
Looking forward to 60 degrees midweek next week.
Yeah, anything?
Just mention that I already said I wouldn't be here for that special meeting, but
There?
Yeah. I want to thank everybody that did show up also, that didn't have to be here. It's good to see you. And I also want to thank the people that shoveled their portions of the sidewalk.
Which time?
Yeah.
I did mine 4 times today,
Not bad.
and I almost went walking through the street on the way down instead of the sidewalk. So,
Well, thanks everybody, and I can't say nothing, so Perry will have to do the council comment.
Okay.
I was in cold Florida up until Saturday. You had warmer weather here than we had down here.
Really?
I left there Friday morning, it was 40 degrees.
You were in Vegas?
It was cold, but thanks.
All right, so Terry, and then I guess the baton has been passed to you to do the
well,
city council.
council's comments, I guess you can view it online now, we have it on videotape. This last one got posted, right?
This is,
Can't think of anything else, Jamie, that needs to be announced, I didn't think of.
Yep.
do I need to be sworn in? I'm used to that. Trust me, especially all the way, pardon? Especially all, thank you. Consider sworn in, I will. I got sworn in all the way back in Florida.
Kevin, you got anything else for us?
No, I just wanted to mention if anyone who's interested, and I don't know if much is there or whatever, but the Michigan Association of Planning Conference is in Kalamazoo this year, and it's later, it's sort of towards the end of October. So everybody's interested in they also have like, you can go for one day, could be a particular day, and they have a reduced fee for that. Like, I think they offer one particular day for a real low amount that is geared towards citizen planners. It's the whole day you spend taking, it's a regular regimented course for a citizen planner. They take you through all sorts of stuff. I know I've taught some of the components of those sessions before, so just thought I'd let you know that if anyone's interested, well enough to can.
Yeah, so you give us dates on that too, so that when you know it, whatever.
Yeah, it's on the website for Michigan Association of Planning, but I didn't look at it.
We have some training coming up from MNL for planners too, so for planning commission members, I would recommend anybody willing to go. I would have went this week or last week, but I was out of town. I would have preferred to go there.
Right. So, need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Are you going to make a snowman?
It's my favorite motion.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Cold.